Hi, I'm just going overview of the Nikon lens that I have accumulated for the last 5 months. The first one I bought was 35 1.8G, which is the lens I'm currently using to record this video. And the second one I bought was the 50mm 1.4G. It's around $450, I think, currently on the market for, and it's a very fast lens, 1.4. Has a 9 blade aperture for a nice bokeh, as they say. I usually use this lens for like a recital in a concert or some kind of event that takes place in a low lighting, and you cannot really use flash. Then I'll bring this for the event to take photo. And it's a great lens. I think for around $400, and the fact that you get a fast lens and a 9 blade with a nice bokeh, you get a really nice isolation of the subject. And I was considering actually this over the 1.8G, the 50mm, the new one that came out a couple of months ago. And I picked this one because of the I'll probably be shooting more video, and I sort of figured that I probably need more light than still photography. So I got this one. I like it. I mean, it really very useful on certain events where I thought maybe 1.8 wasn't bright enough. So I recommend it. I mean, right now I have a DX body, so I'm not really fully utilizing the full potential of these FX lenses. So I'm sort of anticipating what they will be like once I upgrade to FX body. And the next lens I bought is the new 50mm 1.8G. Very light. It's about the same size as the 50 1.4, a little bit lighter. And faster in focusing, and I think it's a bit sharper too. And there's a slight change of design regarding that white button, and it seems a little bigger than the older model. It's a great lens, good walk around lens, very light. I mean, it's like light as a feather compared to some of these. I prefer this actually over the 1.4, just because of the sharpness and faster focus. But I really have to do a full test once I get a FX body. But I tend to go for the 1.8G more than the 1.4. And the next one I bought was the this 85 1.4G. Great lens. This is my favorite lens actually so far. It's very sharp compared to the 105 2.8G, the macro lens in the Nikon series, which I've used a couple of times in the past, and I thought that was the sharpest lens the Nikon currently have. And I think this is as sharp as that lens, but at the half the size of the length. And it's a great lens. I mean, as most of you know, this is a great portrait lens, and you shoot people around 10-15 feet away, you get a great bokeh and really good isolation of the subject, and it feels really good on the camera. And let's see the inside. Just beautiful big glass. I don't know if you can see it, but just creates really stunning images with this lens, and without much light. I mean, I shot this lens in like 9-10 o'clock at night without any much of a light, and came out like daylight almost. And great, my favorite lens. And the next one I bought was I had to save a couple of months for this one. This is a 24mm 1.4G. I basically read a lot about it, saying this is one of the best, and the one that replaces the I think the 28mm 1.4, the older one that was discontinued. Now it's like highly prized or become a collectible. I think the older one had some sort of lead issue in the glass or something, so they had to discontinue it. I mean, I heard rumors like that. I don't know if that's true or not. And this one is really stunning. Yet again, just like the 85mm. Great lens. I had some issue with the focusing on my DX body, as expected. Actually, this is my second copy. I ordered the first one, and I couldn't figure out how to focus. It was very most of the image was out of focus, especially at 1.4. So, but I pretty much knew it was the camera, not the lens. But I just, you're spending over $2,000. I got nervous and I returned it, and I researched it a little more and shopped around, and I got a pretty good deal on this one. So I bought it, and I learned how to use it on my DX body. I'm not getting the full potential of this lens yet, so eventually when I do upgrade later on, I'm sure it'll be just stunning images coming out of this. So I'm just waiting to see what happens. But it's a great lens. I mean, all the pro probably know about it or have it. So these two are basically the pro lenses, 85 and 24, and 50 1.4G is I guess they're sort of on a prosumer level. And the last lens I bought was the 40mm 2.8G. I was looking for, I got hooked on the macro of 105 2.8G. I thought that was a great sharp lens and great portrait lens also. So I was looking for something similar, but I didn't want to spend $1,000 on a macro lens, and I didn't want to carry such a big lens in my bag. So when Nikon announced this like a month ago, I just grabbed it and got it about 2 weeks ago. I did some macro shot and portrait landscape. It's very good. It's not as fast as the other lenses, 1.4, 1.8, but I mean it's a macro, so it does the job. It's very sharp. It does good overall normal usage too, and it's small, it's very portable, fits in your hand, palm. I recommend. Actually, I was thinking of unloading 35mm 1.8G and the 50 1.8G and just replace it with the 40 2.8 and just have these sets as my prime lenses. So it's that good. I mean, it could basically, this little 40mm 2.8 could replace about 2 lenses if you don't mind having a slower speed, smaller aperture. So I'm still thinking whether to do that. Overall, these are my primes. I mean, I usually rent zoom lens like 70 to 200mm for corporate photography, for professional usage. But for personal purchase, I don't really like to carry zoom lens that much. So I just buy primes. And my favorite is so far right now is 85 1.4. This is my favorite lens. very sharp, very useful. Although you're sort of limited, especially in a closed area like restaurants or very intimate places. So that's why I have this, and I'm still figuring out how to use this lens. I think I'll probably get a full advantage of it once I upgrade to effects body. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for viewing, and happy shooting. But it's not really so much about the lens. I guess it's just whatever camera you have, just shoot away and see how creative you can get. But anyway.